What's up everybody, my name's Big Cam and welcome back to another movie review, and today we are talking about 2025's Jurassic World Rebirth. And I just saw this yesterday in theaters, although this video will be coming out early next week, and you guys can see from my t-shirt that I'm wearing a Superman shirt. And I'm going today, when I'm recording this, to go see Superman, and I have a wedding this weekend, so I'm not going to be able to get like a whole bunch done this weekend, so I gotta get stuff done ahead of time. So this video will come out early next week, and Superman should already be out on the channel, so go check out that. But Jurassic World Rebirth from director Gareth Edwards, who has just done things like The Creator. Most recently, he did the Godzilla for 2014, he did Rogue One. He's done a few things, and he's quite good as a director. I really like his work, but he's not necessarily a director at first. He was one of those guys that was a visual effects artist turned director, which is why his films like Rogue One, like The Creator, like this one, look really good, because when it comes to the visual effects side of things, he's able to get everything that he possibly needs to be able to make the visual effects good, and he knows everything he needs because he's the one doing it a lot of the times, right? Like, same with the guy that just did Godzilla -1. He was a visual effects artist turned director, and you're seeing that happen a little bit more often now that visual effects are becoming so heavy in projects. And you love to see it for guys like that, but you also love to see it on like the other side of things, where there's like stunt guys like David Leitch, you know, and Chad Stahelski, who were stunt guys turned directors, and then those are your like action directors now, or former stuntmen now big action guys, you know what I mean? So you have your like visual effects heavy guys, you have your action heavy guys, and I wouldn't be surprised to see, you know, the action guys and Gareth Edwards end up in like a Marvel or Star Wars again, or DC future projects, you know. But talking about Jurassic World Rebirth, it is getting very controversial right now. Some people are loving it, some people are hating it. I was kinda in the middle, and I still am. I've thought about it all evening, and getting it back to this morning, I'm still thinking about it, and I'm, you know, a little bit torn. I think I need to see it at least once or twice. I have decided though that this is the type of movie that, like, I'm a Jurassic fan. If this was on TV and I'm scrolling past, it's one of those films that you'll always put on no matter what. You know, just because the cast is great, it looks great, but it's not my favorite Jurassic Park movie. You know, that will still be the first one, you know, like the first movie, the first Jurassic Park is so good. And I remember when Jurassic World came out, and I really loved that one as well. Although I didn't love the Indominus Rex, I really loved Chris Pratt, Bryce Dallas Howard, the new, you know, bringing it, like, it felt like the old Jurassic Park, but it was new. I liked that vibe of it, you know, like in that recreation of it. And with this, I thought we were going to get a little bit more nods to like the original movies, and it felt like they tried. Like the opening parts of this, you know, getting into some spoilers, but, you know, I'll try and keep it brief for the Jurassic World Rebirth, but, you know, definitely spoilers for Jurassic Park. The beginning of Jurassic Park, we get that great shoot-ha, shoot-ha, and the guy, you know, dies. You know, we see like glimpses of the Velociraptor take this guy's arm. We see the Velociraptor's eye. We see his little claw on his foot. We hear the noise it makes, and then, you know, we hear, you know, everyone freaking out, and the guy going shoot-ha, shoot-ha. You know, like, great line, great opening of this movie, but it also like sets the tone for Jurassic Park, as in like, yes, it is incredibly dangerous here, and these dinosaurs are dangerous, and like, you know, people will lose their lives in this movie, and it like starts as like this horror-esque film. And I remember as a kid, you know, being blown away by seeing dinosaurs, and like the John Williams score, and the, you know, the Brontosaurus grabbing leaves from the top of the tree for the first time, you know, like, that's an epic scene. But then you get to the T-Rex stuff, and you get to the Velociraptors escaping, and like, things get scary, you know, like she grabs that dude's arm, she's like, oh, Mr. Arnold, it's, you know, a severed arm. You're like, as a kid, I was like, holy shit, you know, like, there wasn't enough of that kind of stuff, right? Like, Steven Spielberg really made a great friggin' movie, and there's a reason why Jurassic Park 1 still to this day looks as good as it does, you know. And this movie, you can't knock any of how it looks. It looks phenomenal. I mean, look at this mosasaur just being a dolphin slash whale next to this boat. Like, it was playing during the scene, and I absolutely loved it, you know. Like, the mosasaur looked phenomenal. The T-Rex also looked phenomenal, but like we'll get into it. And there was also like the Mutodon, I think they called it, which was like what, half pterodactyl, half bird thing, velociraptor. And it was cool, but I think like the point was like they were on this island with mutated dinosaurs. I feel like they should have leaned into that more and seen more mutated dinosaurs and creepy fucked up stuff rather than, you know, what we got. And it felt like it was a good story, but Gareth Edwards also has been saying in interviews that from the start of like day one on production to the final shot closed and like ready to be sent out, it was like a year to a year and a half. And for a big budget film like this, normally they get at least 2 years, sometimes more. And I think if Gareth Edwards was to do another one of these, I think he should too, because it's making a whole bunch of money regardless of, you know, poor reviews. I think Scarlett Johansson's Zora Bennett was great. I think Jonathan Bailey's Henry Loomis was great. Mahershala Ali's Duncan Kincaid was great. I mean, the family with Manuel Garcia Rolfo as Ruben, his daughter Luna Blasey, that's the actress's name, David Lancoco, Adrina Miranda. She was so good. I loved that little girl. And like the family was funny, but like, I don't know, it felt like it landed a little bit flat for me, like the script itself, and like the visual effects kept me going and kept me entertained, and there was a couple funny lines in this, like the kid David, I got some weed, it might be a little bit damp though, you smoke? And she's like, he's clearly messing with you, Dad. He's like, clearly was not messing with him. But like, you know, it was funny as hell. Like I was in a pretty dead audience, and there's this 3 kids and like a group of family members over in the corner. As soon as he was like, I got a little bit of weed, you smoke? And like the guy in the other crowd goes, I knew he was a pothead. And I just died laughing. I was like, yeah, no, certain things like in this were great. Jonathan Bailey, Scarlett Johansson, Mahershala Ali. Rupert Friend was a bit of a prick, and you know, pricks get what they get in this movie, you know, in this franchise. If you're gonna be an asshole, you're gonna be dealt with by dinosaurs like an asshole, you know. But the water raft sequence, I mean, like, was incredible. We'll talk about that in a second. But ScarJo was great. Jonathan Bailey and that whole, you're stealing the egg. I did like that it was like, oh, you have to get the water, land, and air creatures. And it was like 1, 2, 3. And that was like, you're setting you on what you're going to be doing this movie. But it was a little too simple and a little bit like, there could have been 6 to 8 more months of just like dialogue and really nailing down this script, and then like, you know, imagine, you know, if this is how good the VFX looked in a year, VFX, if you give them more time, is only going to look better and better, right? So if you give them 2 years to do the VFX and you get that extra time to write the script and all that, I think next time out for a second movie for Gareth Edwards, spend a little bit more time on the script, and you'll be just fine, because you got the visual effects, you got the cast. Now the script for the second movie just needs to be phenomenal. And, you know, I guess they left it open so that they could do something like that. And they also, you know, teased that Duncan Kincaid might have died off in the woods when the red flare goes out, but somehow he lives, and they come back for him at the end. And it's like, I felt like a little bit more than just one person should have died in this little excursion onto this island that wasn't a park. You know, like, this is where all of the most fucked up dinosaurs are. We should have seen a lot more of that. And, you know, like, other than that, the T-Rex sequence with the raft was pretty good, although it was kind of like, the T-Rex wouldn't have got him by now. You know, like, the whole time I was like, this T-Rex isn't this dumb. Like, unless he was just kind of playing with them. You know, but regardless, they make a T-Rex swim, chase after a raft. They couldn't have done this in the first Jurassic Park and make it look as good as it was. Although the script and the actual action of the sequence could have been maybe dialed to 11, it felt like they were maybe at like a 7. You know what I mean? Like, it was dope, and it was like, yeah. But I just wanted you to, you know, turn that bitch up, let's go, like Jurassic Park, let's fucking die, like, and it felt like he had this crazy horror movie, you know, and really wanting to scare people in there somewhere, but they kind of just backed away from it, and it didn't have as much as that John Williams score as it needed to. I just felt like they had a decent score, but it wasn't used as well as it could have been, you know, and like the timing of it. I feel like this was a near close to perfect movie. You know, like it's a near miss, right? Like he swung for the fences and just got a foul tip. You know what I mean? Like baseball reference for those people out there that like baseball. But I did enjoy it. Overall, I gave this movie 3 out of 5 stars. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this film. Comment down in the comment section below, or you can message me on my other social medias. Links for those down in the description down below. But overall, yeah, I enjoyed this. I think he could have done a little bit better job. You know, I think like they turned it up to 6 or 7, and they were real close just to going, yeah, you know, and turning that bitch up to 11, and they could have. And they didn't. And I want to know if that was just a time thing, like they only had a year and they kind of rushed this, or is it like a studio thing? Like, is this a Universal saying, we need to put out more Jurassic, come on, come on, come on, come on. And clearly that they were right, because it made the biggest box office weekend for a Jurassic Park movie, I think, in a long time, and the biggest box office for a 4th of July weekend ever. So, you know, it definitely ranked in some money, which it did a good thing for itself, because with Superman coming out tomorrow and Fantastic Four coming out in the following weeks, this thing is not going to be in theaters very long, and it's definitely not going to be having, you know, sold out showtimes for very long. And I highly doubt people are going to be seeing this over Superman or Fantastic Four. But, you know, if you're not going to see Superman or Fantastic Four and you went and saw this, comment below your thoughts. I'd love to hear, you know, somebody that's a pure Jurassic fan that doesn't really care about this other stuff. You know, or maybe you're more interested in Jurassic World Rebirth in the F1 movie than you are Superman and Fantastic Four. Comment below your thoughts. What movies have you seen in theaters this year? I'd love to hear that kind of thoughts from you as well. And if you guys really are into movies, go follow my links for my other social medias down below, and follow my Letterboxd, and you can check out all my movie reviews and my lists over there, and including this ranking of the Jurassic Park movies, and Jurassic World Rebirth coming in at number 4. And here's the list here, number 1 being my favorite, of course, with Jurassic Park. Jurassic World coming in at number 2. Jurassic World Dominion coming in at number 3, and that's mostly just because I loved seeing the old cast reunite with this new cast, and I enjoyed it, although the movie's not that great. And then Jurassic World Rebirth, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom at 5, The Lost World at 6, and Jurassic Park 3 at 7. And honestly, even 7, I like that movie, and I like The Lost World, I like Fallen Kingdom, I like all of these films. I'm a Jurassic fan, I'm a big dinosaur head. But if they go and do a Jurassic World Rebirth 2 or whatever the title, just a little bit more time in the oven, get that thing nice and crispy, make sure it's golden brown before you pull that bitch, Gareth Edwards, and you'll be perfectly fine and okay. And I think you did a decent job anyways. 3 out of 5 stars is a decent score, but comment below your score out of 5 or 10 stars, whatever your ranking system is. I would love to hear your thoughts. But once again, my name is Big Cam. Thank you guys for making it this far in the video. And if you'd like to support the channel, the best way to do that is liking this video, commenting down below, hitting that share link button, and even just hitting copy link. You don't even necessarily need to share it with a friend, but help this video get out into the algorithm. And I really, really appreciate all you guys that also hit the subscribe button. About 98% of viewers are not subscribed, so please hit that subscribe button. It's free, and it really goes a long way to supporting me and the channel. And I really appreciate you guys, and I will see you beautiful people in the next one. Peace!